Alright, so a new month, a new addition to the tier list. Actually, four new additions. We have four units here to add. And, the newest unit came out like yesterday when I'm recording, but his position on the list is just so unquestionable that I don't even have time. I don't even need time to think about it. So, yeah, we're gonna be first adjusting some positions here, but of course, the four new characters being Ragnarok Bond, Elaine, BDSM Goth Waifu, and Tarmio. And yeah, so first off, this is the PvP side. We have the PvP and the PvE tier list. For the PvP side here, there's some adjustments I want to make. I've been keeping up Salt Melee here in the top tier, but honestly, I can't live on this farce anymore. Like they just ignoring the demons have ever happened, and more and more as time goes on, they just fade away into obscurity. And honestly, I'm just gonna have to put the demon units down, and it pains me, but I just have to stop living on this lie. Salt Melee needs to go down. Dro, although he's not a demon, but Blue Dro needs to go down. Sigurd even needs to go down. Esterosa needs to go down. And I want to keep Kusok up here because in terms of, just a good DPS, Kusok is still a really good DPS. I want to keep Kusok up here compared to like these. But they just gotta go down. This just make no sense. Skadi as well, I put her up there, but at this point, if you're gonna use an anti-Kyo character, you're better off using like Melascula. In any case. Also, some of the catastrophes, they just can't compete. Especially with all these holy relics that have been coming out. We got holy relics for all the fairy characters, which, really helped out like King. Which was already like a fantastic character, but like these teams that aren't using Trader Melee, they just get eviscerated. Anyways, it's like these characters can't really compete. It's a bad sign of balancement, but yeah. Ludociel got his relic. I think that deserves him to go up here. I'll even dare put him like above because his relic caused him to actually become good. So I'm putting him up there. I am also raising up his non-whale version. Where is it? Is it in garbage? No. Wherever it is, I think it is in garbage because if you're not maxing him out, he was garbage. But I'll put him here. When I rank characters, I rank them all with relic because that's just me being fair, right? The relic is just a second passive for the character, and if I rank specific characters with relic but not others, I'm just being unfair. So I am putting this Ludo up because of the holy relic. And I think for me that's it. Actually, Sauriel also got a relic that actually really made him better. That relic is really powerful, so I'm putting him up as well. I kind of want to also put Green Sauriel up. I haven't really seen much of his relic. The one enemy I faced with his relic, the relic is powerful. If you don't know what the relics do, that I'm mentioning for the Sauriels, let me open both of them. For Red Sauriel, when he crits, he increases basic stats by 8%, and he's critting all the time. So he in no time he has a 40% stat buff on top of the stat buffs that are all happening amongst the goddess team anyways. Then for Green Sauriel, if an enemy uses a skill on the hero, it increases the hero's attack by 20% for one turn. When you're countering them, having the extra 20% attack is huge. When the hero inflicts damage using a skill or counter, recovers 15% of the damage Delta's HP, so he has massive healing as well. This relic is really powerful. I'm going to keep him where he is because I think it's fair, but yeah. Is there anyone else want to put down? Not really. Not really. So I think for now that's it. Can't really think of anyone else to put up or down. So let's talk about units here. So we're going to start with the Ragnarok Bond because I think it's simpler. For PvE, I think this Ragnarok Bond should go in the exact same place I would put legitimately like Red Jericho, right? Because that's what he's doing. He's buffing all allies attack related stats by 10%. Like it is better than like Red Jericho, Blue Jericho's characters like that. So I kind of want to put him like here because I think that's fair. He's just better in that sense. he's generally good for that. You know, he gives all allies attack related stats by 10%, and then decreases the enemy's pierce, crit chance, and crit damage by 15%. And that's all you're going to be using him for, because his skills suck. They just suck. Terrible skills. So you're only really using him for the passive in the on the back. So yeah, I think it's fair to put him up here, only because it's general. It's like using Red Jericho, but better. So yeah. No, I kind of want to put him down. It's just like, that's all he's doing. You know, that really is all he's doing. I think for the most part, if you're using like a crit team, Death Pierce is still better, right? Like, if you're using like a crit farm team, Death Pierce is still better. And if you're not farming, I don't know, I think that if you're using like, even like SR Red Liz can be a better back if you're like for a harder activity. And the hard activities we have now are Demonic Beast Battles, which you're not going to be using him because you don't want to have him on the field, right? So, yeah, he's a good back unit though. From the PvP side, is like, it's the same thing. It's like, I think he can be a fun fourth character. I would even slightly more competent. I think he can be a fun fourth character. He's like a worse Green Zeldris. If you can't use Green Zeldris because your team doesn't debuff, he actually can be a very solid fourth option. Mostly because with the stat buffs that the Brawler Bonds received, he actually has competent CC. And you can slide in a King Link, which will give him 1000 CC. So, I think it's good here. It's just very hard to like rank a character that's meant to be a fourth slot, and he's just like kind of like very general. Like for like Blue Gil Thunder, right, which is in the same tier here. Blue Gil Thunder has one team, and for the one team that he's good, the Mono Blue, he is good. He gives 60% defense, and that's what you want from him. Like Ban is very general. I don't know. I think it's a good ranking for him. Elaine, for PvE, she's straight up dookie, because she's just straight up dookie. There's not much else going on there. It's just she's only really buffing one type of character, which is King. She's only buffing King. She's only buffing King, and let me pull up what she does here, so we can. So we can actually explore that, but she could, in the future, like, have more characters take part of her passive. It's just that right now, there's only one good fairy in the game. It's King. Which makes sense, he's the only good fairy in the story. He's the only strong fairy character in the story, aside from Glocks, and if you count the movie, right? The fairy from the movie. But, you know, Glocks hasn't got much representation in the game. He has 2 characters, very old. There's only one new fairy character that has come out recently, which is King, Festival King. He's the only one getting supported, so essentially you're just better off using like Green Arthur for PvE if you're gonna like farm. And if you're not farming, then she's pointless. For any difficult activity, she's pointless for PvE. For PvP though, completely different story. I am maybe, you know, crazy to say this, but I think she should go at the top. For PvP, these two combined are a menace. Absolute menace. She seals the buff cards for a team that's making like a comeback, which is the Goddess team. You know, Goddesses, I face Goddesses all the time. And, you know, you have her buff seal, Margaret and Goddess Liz, right? And now also buff seal Tarmiel as well. The one thing is, with Tarmiel's release, the King team has gotten a bit of a setback, because now you can't really double attack people as easily. The only reason why I wouldn't want to put her below where I'm putting is because for now, not many people are using Tarmiel because it's a relatively new character. In the future, because, you know, the present is where I'm ranking this, right? In the future, she could go down because more Tarmiels will be present. Again, we haven't touched on Tarmiel yet, but I'll get there. He's a relatively new character on a shitty banner, so not many people have him. But if he ends up being like more frequent as a Link character, it might be a problem for King teams. Big problem. For now, can't not put her here. She's nutty with King. Again, very weird to say that like Elaine is like a really good character, but It's just how it is, right? So she's an entirely PvP character. She goes at the bottom for PvE and at the top for PvP, which, you know, some characters like that. Now, here's the complete opposite. Goth Waifu. You know, for the PvE tier list, I really evaluate characters that are good for Demonic Beast Battle much higher, because that's the only truly hard content in the game. The only truly hard content that's PvE in the game is Demonic Beast Battle. There's nothing else. You can say, oh, guild boss, whatever. It's not hard, it's just RNG and, you know, I guess if you want, you can just go for the max points or whatever. Completing Demonic Beast Battle is the only hard activity in the game. So if a character can give you free wins on the hardest activity in the game, she's going to be at the top of my PvE tier list. It's just not... There's no question about that. Now, I was actually thinking of raising DN, but instead what I'm going to do is raise Scotty up here, because Scotty is just so good as being the red character for the Deer team. There's no better red character in combination with the BDSM waifu. Like right now, I think the best Deer team is, you know, the new character, the Horman Gunder, you know, BDSM waifu, Scotty, the One, which is also here, and either Trader Mally or Brynhilder, right? Brynhilder is though keeps on going. The fact that she's good for both Demonic Beast Battles really helps her. But you know, that's the best team, I think. You know, Matrona, for people that don't have you know, the new character, Matrona is fantastic so because the heal. But like DN, you know, suffers from the same thing Matrona does, which is why I don't think she's in the best team. Matrona having only one attack card really cocks you for Deer, and that just so annoying. Scotty having 2 single target attack cards really helps her, and a healing ultimate. You're getting so much heal from the new character already, you don't need passive heal, but if you can get the heal from the ultimate as well, there's just an additional heal there. So I think that, you know, Scotty deserves to go up here for PvE because of that. And then for the PvP side, she's just complete dookie trash. Talk shit. Not even worth even like going to can be fun. She's just terrible. And you know, again, it's another character that like she, just like Elaine, you know, she was made for PvE, not PvP. Like Elaine was made for PvP, not PvE. It's just how it is. And you know, when you have a character like her, I prefer that she is at the top of one of the tier lists than in the middle of both. You know what I mean? I prefer a character that's really, really good at something much more than a character that's average at everything. Because a character that's really, really good at something is a character I'm actually going to be actively using. So, yeah. Only character left is the newest character to come out, which is Tarmiao. The ranking for PvP is very easy, so I'm going to go with it. For PvP, it's just not even a question. He's so stupid. I will be cheating here, because for most of these characters that have graces, or the Archangels, for the Archangels, I don't consider their grace when ranking them. Although they're all basically at the top anyway, so it doesn't matter. But like, you know, like Margaret's already here, like, even though I'm not even considering her grace. For Tarmiao, I am, because Tarmiao's grace is legitimately overpowered. There is no other way of, you know, categorizing it other than overpowered. The grace is so long, and you can put it in any character in the game. This grace goes well in any character at any situation in the game. Like, when you see a grace like this Tarmiao's grace, right? You can think that Tarmiao's grace is also a heal grace, and it's also really good. And yes, that is correct. But one thing about this Tarmiao's grace is that it was based on defense. So if I'm using a team that has a characters with attack crit, I'm not going to be using this grace on an attack crit character, because they're going to have low defense. They're not going to heal very much. This Tarmiao doesn't care about your stats. No matter what, you're going to be healing a good amount from the damage that you take, And if someone attacks you twice, they get disabled. So it's just like this grace is so insane that I can't ignore the fact that it exists when ranking the character. But it's not just the grace. The character itself is really, really, really good too. It's just that when thinking about him, when I think of Tarmiel now, I don't think of the unit. I think of the Link. He's just that insane, right? The Link is just that insane. So I can't just not think of that. So I am straight up putting him here. This Tarmiel, again, is a big contender for putting this lane down as well, because the more and more people using Tarmiel Link, the less and less good King is. I did make a video today where I was using Tarmiel, and I forgot to put CC food, and I went second against a team that was using Ludociel and King. And guess what happened? I still won, because he was too afraid to double attack with King, so he couldn't output the DPS that he wanted to, and I just won, even though I went second with no food, so I didn't have dodge food, against a team using ultra high DPS, Ludociel with Holy Relic, King, and Grangyalfer. I still won regardless with my team that got squashed in the first turn, because again, Tarmiel was mega healing every time he got hit, and the enemy just couldn't bring himself to double attack with King. So it's just that grace is just too insane. Now for PvEs where it's kind of tricky to rank him, because I want to say that again, his grace should give him a high spot. You're gonna be using this grace, right? Like, this grace replaces the other Tarmiel's grace. Healing every time you take damage is so powerful, and again, it doesn't require you to have a character that has high defense to really take part of that grace. So, you know, when ranking him, I really think of that. Now, as a unit, he's also still pretty good, but I can't really see where I would use him for PvE. Maybe there's going to be like a good guild war or guild boss strategy using him. I don't know. Like, I can't really tell that. But just, again, the grace is just so good that I can't not put him in a high tier. That grace is going to... Okay. I kind of want to put him here. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think it's fine. I kind of want to put him here low-key as well, because again, that grace is so insane, but I would just actually make it a disservice to all the other characters that are here, which actually have like presence utility, right? Although I kind of want to put down Ban and Arthur. Oh, but they're still good for guild boss. I mean, guild boss characters like here. I think this is more like having. I've been using like Arthur and Ban as, you know, characters in this tier because of the fact that, you know, the Ban team is good still in PvE as well, but like being realistic here, or for PvE, you're either ranking characters for, you know, farming, or maybe guild boss, or like demonic beast battle, right? All in between being like, I don't know, story or whatever is just so easy. It doesn't matter. So, you know, for guild boss, there's some stages that use Ban and Arthur and stuff, but the guild boss characters I've been putting here, right, as well. I'll also put them down for that. But the other characters are fine where they are. F2 goes with. The other characters are fine where they are. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good with how this is. So yeah, these are the new characters, and let me know what you think.